Great, great. I mean, it was a long, what was it, 8 days, 7 or 8 days that we just we're going at it. But I mean, feel pretty good, you know. Um, Excited for the next game already. So yeah.
Obviously, the call was coming off a midseason coaching change, a bit unusual, right? What did you see from them in terms of just the way they responded to it?
Yeah, I mean, I think historically, just in college basketball, once a coach gets fired, like I think the players get a little motivated by that, trying to prove something, and that's what they did last night. Um, I think it's a good change for them, and they're gonna give us their best shot for sure. So yeah, I mean, start preparing for them today and be ready for them.
How do you guys avoid being overconfident against a team that you waxed in round one, and then you have beaten 19 straight times?
Yeah, I mean, I said it in the past. Like, there is no really bad teams in the Big East. They had a good game against Marquette last night. Marquette is for sure is up there. I mean, they're ranked 14th in the country for a reason. I mean, every night is a challenge, and like you gotta approach it the same way for everybody, because like anybody can surprise anybody. So that's the way we see it, and that's the way we approach it.
Saturday is the pink out game. You have pink shoes, obviously. Is Saturday going to meet a little bit more?
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, it was one of my favorite games last year. Very emotional. I got two family members that either fought, and I got one that fought and one that is currently fighting cancer. So, very special moment, very emotional. And I mean, we're gonna have a great crowd like every year. So I'm really, really excited for it.
Did they do anything like that at TCU?
No. That's why it's unbelievable. For the people that never experienced it, it's gonna be the first time for them. I'll say just enjoy it, because it doesn't happen anywhere else in the country. It's just here.
What was that under 12 like last year when you went through it for the first time?
Sorry.
The under 12 for the first time last year, going through it. What was that like?
I mean, it was special. As I said, just every time I'm out there, I just try to enjoy the moment. And I mean, this is my last year, so I don't get another one of these. So I just go out there and have fun. And I know it means a little more this year.
Do you know who won your jersey? Somebody paid $1,725, $1,725.
I didn't know. But I mean, we're probably gonna, if we didn't already, we're gonna get to know who those families are, and of course I'm really, really excited to get to know them.
Isn't that kind of cool that you do get to meet them?
Yeah, I think it's amazing, especially since it's such a great cause. I think it's, as I said, really, really cool.
You get to hear their stories, why they're going out there.
Yeah. At least from last year, once you get out there after the game, you kind of meet the family. They tell you about why they did it. Usually it's because of a family member that it's either in the current fight or fought in the past. But yeah, no, it's incredible. It's very emotional, very motivational. So I can't wait for it.
One of those things that puts it into perspective. I know you're playing a game you want to win, but there's also a bigger cause.
Yeah. I mean, we have a basketball game, but at the end of the day, it's just a game. And cancer, it is what it is. I mean, it's out there. It's not fun. I mean, I lived it personally, so it's a struggle. So we play for them that are currently fighting, and the ones that fought in the past.
How's the guy doing?
Eye's healing up well, yep. Ben took care of me right when it happened at Seton Hall. We glued it up, and then 5 stitches the next morning, so it's healing well.
It's a shiner, not just a cut. It looks like you're going to fight.
Yeah, I know. It's a little black eye and, a few jokes. You should see the other guy, but, I mean, nothing new.
You slammed the bench there in frustration. Was that because you were having to come out of the game for it, or what was the main anger there, I guess?
Yeah, mainly because, I knew, mid-game, I knew how much blood there was, and I tried to wait till the media because I knew we were going to have to do something, and so trying to prolong me getting subbed out. But then when I dribbled the ball up, I knew the ref would see it, and so I was just frustrated that I was going to have to come out. And then kind of the uncertainty of, how long would it take before I could get back in.
You know what happened when it did?
Yeah, I knew it happened when it did, and then, I had some texts from Peyton, just wondering, am I okay? Do I need stitches? Like, all of that. But that's the perk of being married already, that she's just got to put up with it.
Steven, after the game the other night, Max said you really kind of changed your mindset defensively. What's going into that so you can be on the floor in those type of situations?
Yeah, throughout the season, even the offseason, Coach Max stressed the emphasis of, how being an undersized guard in this league, there's going to be that target on your back, and you're going to have to be able to compete and defend at a high level. And so, I think to start the season, maybe I underestimated that a little bit, and when it just came down to it, practice after practice, and then also, funny enough, Mitch Ballack and I have been watching the defensive film and things, and Matt gives me a hard time of going to Mitch for defensive advice, but no, we've tried to lock in on things, and then just watching more and more film and doing that extra homework, I think, has helped me on the defensive side, and then also just, it's a comfort thing when you're watching that much basketball. Hours after practice, hours before practice, you get a gauge of how the other guys are playing, how you can, be your best self, and I think that's helped.
Probably along the same lines, but leading the conference in assist turnover ratio. How have you managed to step up your playmaking while keeping that turnover rate low?
Yeah, I think that within the offense, finding opportunities to where it's just in the natural flow, whether it's in transition and pointing to Kalk to go set a down screen for Baylor or Trey, which is, great offense for us, or, finding ways to where Kalk and I can be in pick and roll together. I think that, we've been able to find some kind of sweet spots and in places where the reads are there, and then also, the risk of turnover isn't as high. And so those are some of the things that, I've been looking for on the offensive side of the ball.
Two more for you room with Harper on the road, right?
Yeah, we do room together.
How much is just that off-the-court time help the connection on the court?
I think it helps a lot, for sure. We have fun conversations. We chat, we watch games, we even, watch some film pieces a few times saying, oh man, this would be pretty good if we could get to this. And, Mac's great about trusting the guys and trusting the players. And so we have a lot of freedom out there to do things on the court that are going to be good for the team's success. And so, it's been fun. And then, also with him being engaged, we're in a similar stage of life. So it's, it's nice on those things too to be able to relate.
The Pinkout game Saturday is obviously a big deal here in Omaha. What have you been told about it? What are you expecting, for this kind of event?
Yeah, I've heard so much about it, just the entire place, decked out in pink, and not a dry eye in the building. And I think it's cool to be able to, use a game like that to be able to raise awareness for such a great cause and for such a great fight. And I think, it's also cool to be able to be playing in a game like that where you can remember that, it is a game and that there's bigger things in life. There's people that are going through, real serious challenges and trials. And so to be able to honor them and remember them is going to be something that's super special, and I'm looking forward to it.
Obviously, they've had a change in leadership. How beneficial it is to have a mature team knowing that anything can happen, even with your dominance over a single game?
Yeah, I was impressed with the way they played last night against Marquette. I think sometimes when there is a change like that, obviously it has a huge impact on everybody in the program, but especially the players. And I thought they really rallied last night, and obviously, Coach Brady's been a head coach several different places, so he understands what he's doing. And but they didn't quit last night. They competed to the very end, and I'm glad we have that on film as we prepare for Saturday.
Steven just talking about the evolution of just kind of getting into the role of having to understand that teams are going to kind of come at him and looking for weaknesses in the defense. What have you seen in terms of just the way he kind of embraced that and run through that challenge?
Yeah, it's a different role, a role that he probably hasn't played before in his career. But there's really nowhere to hide in the Big East, and he's gone from someone we were thinking about hiding to someone that now we're putting on one of their best players because of he's very difficult to screen right now. He's been very elusive in missing screens and avoiding screens. His quickness has allowed him to stay in front of the dribble, and and cuts the people off. And he's guarded some big-time shooters and has been there on the catch, and even at his size made it difficult for them to even think about going into their shot. So I couldn't be more pleased with what he's doing, and obviously it's that energy and effort's probably it's going to take him a little time to adjust to playing offense when you're exerting that much energy on the defensive end, but I'm confident that will come.
Working on a Jackson Andrews story, what was it that initially drew you guys to him, and how good of a game was it?
Yeah, I mean, Jackson, we've watched him a long time. His dad played for me, so I've been familiar with his family forever. But at his size, he's one of the elite shooters in the country, and comes from an awesome family, and loves the game of basketball. Gym rat, always working to improve his game, and that was probably the one thing last summer was his improvement from the summer between his sophomore and junior year to last summer. There was considerable growth in really all parts of his game. Which told us that this is a guy that's serious about improvement and growth and getting better, and the sky's the limit for him.
Jack, having seen how this takeout has developed over the years, it's how amazed are you at what it's turned into?
Yeah, I mean it continues to amaze me. We brought the idea to the leadership at Creighton and the athletic department when we got here, and everybody kind of dropped what they were doing and jumped on board with this, and we had a small community committee of people from the community that got involved at that time, and put on a good event to start with, and then it's really grown, and I'm really proud of the way the community has embraced it and supported it. And when we started it, we didn't, the Hope Lodge was a pipe dream, and now that building has been in our community for several years and has impacted families across our region that are going through this cancer journey. It's really pretty cool to see the impact that it's had. And like I said, if one person, if it reminds one person to get their screening when they're supposed to get their screening, and they catch the cancer early and it's treatable and they can make a full recovery, then that's why we're doing it.
Yeah,
so
you've seen other schools do this to a lesser extent. Well, why do you think Omaha embraced this?
I mean, why does Omaha embrace the swim trials and the College World Series? And it's an incredible community that rallies around. It seems to be whatever event there is, but this one has been special, and I think it's still a game that a lot of our players, former players' moms, will try to come back to this game, and I think there's people that make sure if they only get to one game a year, this is it. But I don't know why, but I do know why. I think everybody in that building has been impacted by cancer in some way. Whether they've had a brother or sister or mom or dad or God forbid a child that's had to deal with cancer. So I think it's relatable to everybody. And I just this past week, the funeral's tomorrow, when my first cousin's husband died of a brain tumor at 52. So it doesn't go away. And now we've made strides, and the treatment options are better than they've ever been, and they'll continue to get better as long as we can continue to stay in the fight against it. But I'm very appreciative of what this community has done to make this event what it is.
Two more. What are you when you can't help but feel the emotion when you walk out on the court, whether you're sitting in the stands or on the sidelines? What are your central themes when you address the team before the game in terms of how to?
Well, I still get goosebumps when I come through that tunnel and see all that pink. But like everybody else there, each one of our guys has been impacted by cancer in some way, whether it's a family member or a friend. Everybody's dealt with it, and the message is always, there's a lot of people that are watching us today, either in the stands or at home, that are embarking on this cancer treatment journey right now, or they've lost a loved one to this awful disease. So I think it gives our guys a little bit extra motivation on game day.
Sid played volleyball. Almost 12,000 people last night for the pro game. I mean, what do you think that possibly means for future Sids to look up to?
Yeah, I mean it's been fun for me to see as a father of a daughter that played volleyball. to watch the growth and interest in the game of volleyball change. And we've been blessed to have it on our campus with Kirsten and her staff, and the great teams and championship teams that they just year after year keep churning out. And you don't ever want to take that for granted because it's hard to do. But it's been awesome that we've been able to watch it firsthand on our campus. But like I said, Omaha embraces almost everything, and I think that was another shining example last night, that our people are on board, and the growth in volleyball in terms of interest of young girls playing and fans watching is at an all-time high, and it's just going to continue to get better.